Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mark stream to the Philippines. Today's video, misunderstandings between you and your Filipina.
Part 2.
Hey guys, real quick, this is part 2. Go see part 1 either before or after, it doesn't matter, either one. For more examples of miscommunication, either language or cultural or age, etc. Just gonna jump right in now. Stay tuned. It's also why you have to be careful when you're explaining your job, because they want to know what you do. They want to know your job. They might want to know how much you make, but when you start talking too much about it, like say you started your own business and you grew it from a small business and stuff, that's really cool. And you're not necessarily bragging, you're just really proud of your hard work and everything, and glad to have someone that'll finally listen to you. But eventually she's gonna start like, oh, this guy's just bragging and showing off. And maybe you're not, maybe you're just really passionate about your business. But that's where you have success and resources, so it may come across that you're bragging. Even just, showing whatever, like, oh, look, I have a laptop and a microphone and a camera and drone, like that could be considered bragging, like, even though it's just like my small channel. But that's how things can be taken out of context. Another big misunderstanding is when it comes to the food you eat, and more importantly, your reaction, your facial reaction, and how you handle their food, especially if they prepared it, or if they're having a party or celebration, or they went out of their way to cook for you. I remember one of the guys, not Big Ed, but one of the other guys who went to the Philippines on like 90 Day Fiance the other way. Her family prepared like the big pig, the big lechon, and it's a big deal. It costs a lot of money. It's not cheap by any means. They rarely have it because it's a big party, but they went out of their way to prepare it for him and his arrival. And then he just didn't like it. He tried it and he's making like this gross face, you and everything. But he's trying not to, but they all see it. They're all very, very offended. Now some of them said that he's in the wrong because he should have appreciated it more and faked it better and tried it more, gave it a better chance, or just ate it without complaining and stuff. But others here, even some Filipinos, are saying that she was in the wrong and her family's in the wrong, because if he didn't like it, he didn't like it. Like, they're a different culture, different country, different taste, and that they overreacted. I'm not picking a side on it because I know it's a complicated issue, but that's just another example of a misunderstanding there. They offered him like a feast, a party to welcome him, and then he didn't like the food, and that really, really upset her family. So you're either gonna have to really sit down and explain, like, hey, thank you so much for doing this, but I just don't like it. I tried it, like, I wish I did, but it's just not for me. Or just I would err on working on your poker face and just pretending. It's not like you have to eat it very often. Like I said, they rarely make it just for big occasions. But yeah, that's just a misunderstanding that caused all sorts of family problems and almost ruined their relationship because of that. Like, all those time and money and years spent just over something silly, like, like one meal. But that happens, and you don't want to insult your potential future mother and father-in-law. Like, you want them to approve your relationship, especially since family is so important here. Another big misunderstanding that can happen is, say she asks for your bank account or something. You married by now, you've been dating for 5 years or something, and you're just not comfortable giving it to her. Maybe not even because you're not afraid of her stealing or anything, but she's never handled a lot of money before or something, and you're afraid she's going to spend it or waste it or lose the card or get, who knows the reason, right? But because you're hesitant, it's going to come across like, oh, you don't trust me. Or like another reason, say you're dating and she wants something. It could be anything, like a pair of shoes, a new phone, jewelry, just maybe something cheap, like a new tank top or t-shirt or jeans or something like that, a new dress. It doesn't even have to be expensive, but you're like, you don't need that right now or not right now or whatever. She could throw a temper tantrum and have tampons and stuff. Not because she's a bad girl or anything, but just because she's like, why not? We have money, we're out shopping. Why can't we buy this real quick? It's not a lot. And it might not be a lot then and now, but maybe in your mind, a little bit over time, or you have bills coming up and you're trying to make sure nothing bounces first, or whatever your reason, you might have to like seriously sit down and explain it. Just you just try to be the boss and oh, it's my way or the highway or everything. Like that works for a little bit, but sooner or later it just comes across as disrespectful, and they're not going to tolerate it. So yes, they'll be willing to submit to you, and they're willing to let you lead and be the leader and be in charge. But you can't treat them like trash either. You're gonna have to talk things over and explain things sometimes. One final example, because this is a big one, it's probably one of the most important ones. Say she needs money because one of her family members gets hurt or sick or something. A true emergency. We're not talking about one of the scammers, like while you're talking LDR or something. Let's say you actually talked for a while, she was great, no red flags. You came here, you dated for a bit, maybe you've been dating a year or two now, or you're engaged or married or whatever, living girlfriend, she's great, everything's great. But then a true emergency happens, and then they're all looking at you for money. And you have a choice to make. Do you either give them money or do you not? Or you give them a little bit, or you pay the whole thing? Or do you talk to them like, hey, we talked about what we were going to do in this circumstance. Maybe you talk about that beforehand to help spare any hurt feelings and stuff. Like, hey, I only got this much budget. I don't have any extra money for that sort of thing. Or, you're going to have to talk it out, because there's definitely going to be some hurt feelings and misunderstandings if you don't. And that can, because family's so important over here and they take care of each other, that could be like a really big deal breaker if you handle it wrong. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me and the channel out. I really appreciate it. Thanks to keep doing these videos to help you guys and entertain you and all that stuff. Subscribe if you want to. I do a bunch of videos like this, as well as just traveling in the Philippines, being a digital nomad, retiring young or semi-retiring, and being your own boss, working your own hours, that sort of thing, working online, and traveling overseas, and dating Filipinas. So if that sounds good, like and subscribe. If not, that's cool too. I'll see you next time. God bless. Peace.